Welcome back
To Marriage Beyond the Veil.
So, on yesterday, my lovely wife decided she wanted to replay one of her favorite from what, 5 years ago?
Yes.
Okay, wow. And decided that it was worthy of being, that message was worthy of being reshared. And then so it was like, okay, but I was all prepared to post yesterday. So she said we would talk about it today. So let's talk about it today.
Yes, let's talk about it. Why that's one of my favorites?
Of course, because you're the center of attention.
Yeah, that's the reason.
No, and I never knew that that was one of your favorites. I never
Yeah.
knew that. I mean, I can understand why, but I never knew that.
I mean, why do you think it's one of my favorites?
Well, because you were going through a very challenging time,
Mm-hmm.
and I was going through a very challenging time.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to take me out of my sights and get you into my sights
Mm-hmm.
so that we could move beyond the challenging time.
Right.
As stated in the message, there are things that one really wants,
Mm-hmm.
and then there are things that one really needs.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to differentiate between
The
what
want.
what you just want and what you truly need.
But you also said that you don't necessarily get what you need when you want it.
No, that's not
But
what I
when you
said.
need, okay, I
That's
wrote
not
it
what I
down.
said.
Word
No,
for
that's
word.
not what I said. I said God revealed to me.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
No, that's not what.
Oh, excuse me. That's what that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Because in the midst of my pain and suffering, and in the midst of yours, I couldn't see yours because I was so caught up in mine. But God revealed to me, Fred, you don't need everything. You don't need everything that you want, and even everything that you need, you don't necessarily need it when you want
In
it.
that moment.
Absolutely.
Right.
So, that was huge, but that's what freed me up to say, okay, because I had never looked at the situation through your eyes,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it afforded me the opportunity to get out of me and to begin to see you.
Yeah.
And so it was as if she was told, the doctor will see you now. And he actually did. I saw you.
I appreciate you
Yeah.
seeing me. But what it did for me was it freed me up from the guilt, the shame, the hurt that I was causing him as well. And it also, shed or opened a whole new window for me because I realized that I was dealing with some really deep issues that I had never addressed. And as I typed in yesterday, I felt broken.
Mm. Well, and interestingly, because my thing was, okay, God, you need to fix her. Because I felt you were broken too.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, I didn't sign up for this.
Right.
But it wasn't her that needed to be fixed. It was me. Look.
And it really, in my opinion, there really wasn't anything wrong with you. I mean, because you were just operating as I really felt like any man would have operated.
But this is the thing. Whether you're talking about a man or a woman, we get acclimated to the norms.
Yeah, we do.
And on this journey, in a love relationship, you have to be mindful that blessed are the flexible, for they shall not be bent out of shape, because there will always be opportunities for new norms.
Right.
Right? But I think like many things and many people, you get locked into what traditionally and what's familiar
Right.
and all that kind of stuff, particularly if it's what you enjoy. And what was the previous gal before becoming Mama Gal,
Right.
I wanted her. She had transitioned. And so, but she also had to transition from where she was.
Right.
And I mean, it's a process.
It is.
But you're on the journey together. And you need to realize that it's not just about one of you, it's about both of you. And being able to see one another and then feel for one another. Because, that's the difference between sympathy and empathy. Sympathy is like when you sympathize with somebody because you have a similar or the same experience.
Mm-hmm.
Empathy is just trying to understand somebody else's experience.
Right.
And in a love relationship, there will be those moments where you can sympathize,
Mm-hmm.
but there will definitely be those moments where you have to empathize. You have to just be able to understand somebody else's situation, somebody else's pain, suffering, or whatever the case may be.
So I just thank you for being empathetic for 3 years. It's a long time to be empathetic.
Yeah.
But I will say this. What it has really proven to me in relationships is I think a lot of times people focus on the physical,
Mm-hmm.
but in a love relationship, and I am telling you not from what I've read, but from what I have lived through the past 34 years, is it is so much more the emotional, it is so much more the supportive, it is so much more the fact that every day when he looks at me, I know that he loves me. And he loves me in spite of my flaws, in spite of my struggles. And he struggled through those with me. And because of that, we have grown to be this couple that regardless of what we go through, I still love him as much or even really more so than I did the day that I married him.
But it's not one-sided because it works just the same for me with you. And so, until tomorrow, if the Lord says the same.
Have a good evening. Mm-hmm.